Hey guys, in this video, we're winding back to Thor the Dark World. I can't believe we made it this far in the MCU already, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So, of course, the premise of the video is I'm going to show you how to build the main characters from Thor the Dark World using 100% official LEGO parts and pieces, and interestingly, LEGO has never revisited Thor the Dark World in any capacity, so I've had to make every single figure here versus using something from a Dark World set that's come out. Well, okay, the Collector was a Guardians of the Galaxy exclusive, but I don't know. I don't know if that counts or not. You let me know in the comments, and in the meantime, let's get started with the video. I try to go in sequential order of appearance, so let's start with Malekith. Of course, his face isn't scarred up at the beginning of the movie per se, but we're just gonna make this version because we're just gonna do that. So the torso here comes from Gamora from the LEGO Marvel CMF Series 1, but it's flipped around just to add a little bit extra detail. To add some detail to the arms, I used these arms that come from the Highwayman from the LEGO Collectible Minifigure series with a thin black cape that doesn't go too far out from the figure's body. That comes from the Mandalorian Battle Pack. The legs come from, I believe, Cole from LEGO Ninjago with the elf ears and the pushed back blonde hair, and then the face comes from Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. For Loki, it's hard not to argue that the 2023 version of Loki depicting his 2012 suit is probably the best Loki we've ever gotten, honestly. So I used everything from the center up, so legs, hips, torso, head, hair, cape, all of that. The only thing I did to add some extra detail, which I think looks pretty good for this version of Loki, is adding the arms from Gamora from the LEGO Marvel CMF Series 1, which are perfect because you'll already have used Gamora for the torso from Malekith. Believe it or not, Thor was a little tricky to build, because I don't know that pieces exist to build him perfectly from this movie, but getting as close as we can, in my opinion, requires using the original 2012 torso for Thor, then of course using the handcuff trick to take LEGO handcuffs and cut the chain off to put them on his wrists, to add some extra bulk there around the gauntlet area. These legs come from one of the Imperial engineers from LEGO Star Wars. Of course, he's got Mjolnir, the original 2012 Thor head, with the modern Thor hair. I think that works pretty well for this version of Thor, and then I gave him a red cape to tie the look together. Now for the Warriors 3, I went ahead and reused my design from the first Thor movie, so let's go ahead and run you through how I built those. So starting with Hogun, I used the black ponytail hairpiece with the head from Shang-Chi, the Clone Wars Mandalorian torso with black arms, tan hands, and the legs from Wenwu from Shang-Chi. Moving over to Fandral, I used this kind of fanned out hair. I really think that works well for the figure. It's a little tough to find somebody with a blonde goatee, so I went ahead and used the original Boromir head from Lord of the Rings. It's close enough. I gave him the thin brown cape from one of the Mandalorian characters from Star Wars with the torso and legs from Loki, I think from 2020 if I'm not mistaken. Might have been 2021, but somewhere in there. Anyways, for Volstaag, I went ahead and used the hair, head, and beard from Gimli from LEGO Lord of the Rings with the torso from Gimli as well, but I gave him these red arms and the legs from Jane Foster Thor, Mighty Thor from Love and Thunder. Now, unlike the Warriors 3, I do feel like Sif's outfit changed quite a bit between movies, so I built a mostly new version of Sif, and hopefully this gives you an alternate way to build her if you couldn't build her from the first Thor showcase. To build this, I went ahead and used this long, dark brown hair that's come in a lot of places. The head and torso come from Jane Foster Thor from Thor Love and Thunder, with the legs from Wanda from the Marvel CMF Series 1. I used this shield from the CMF series. You could just use any kind of triangular shield, I feel. Like I said, I just wanted to switch up the pieces. To add some red around her wrists, I gave her red gloves, which also come from that same CMF series Wanda. I gave her a short sword, and although she doesn't technically have short sleeves on that have white, they are gray or silver, and white is the closest we can get as of this video, so I gave her the arms from Dorothy from the LEGO Movie 2 CMF, or from any of the German soccer player figures. I love the way that Odin turned out, and to start, the hair and head come from Reinhardt from LEGO Overwatch. The torso comes from the classic comic book style Thor minifigure, with the legs from Jane Foster Thor from Love and Thunder, gold arms that have come in lots of places with tan hands, and a red cape pull it together. Now for Jane Foster, we do have like a casual Earth look, but she's in Asgardian garb for most of the movie, so I went ahead and used the torso and this skirt piece from Arwen from the Lego Lord of the Rings line of sets, with some long brown hair and then the face from Padme, because it literally looks exactly like Natalie Portman. Now I'm also going to jump ahead just a bit and show you Frigga as well. The reason being is, I think that both of their dresses are pretty similar, and you could go either way using either dress for either leading lady, so let me know what you think. Of course, if we go the route that I did here, I put some gray arms on the elven torso and legs from the CMF series, and the head and hair come from the older Princess Leia from the sequel trilogy. Now, Darcy is actually pretty easy to build this time around. You only need 2 figures to create the figure you see here, and the legs, torso, and head come from Zia from LEGO Jurassic World Dominion, and the hat with the red beanie comes from the horse girl from the LEGO CMF. I'm super happy with the way Heimdall turned out, and to build Heimdall, I used a lot of pieces, including the helmet, the shoulder piece here, and the torso from the Winged Guardian character from the LEGO collectible minifigure series. The head comes from Phastos from LEGO Eternals. The arms are dual molded with red on top and gold on bottom, and those of course come from the CMF series as well, from the Monkey King character. Of course, I gave him Phastos' hands to match the head. The sword comes from the LEGO Harry Potter collectible minifigure series 2, and the legs come from Adam Warlock from Guardians Volume 3. Loki's prisoner outfit was pretty fun to make because it was simple. You know, the torso and legs come from Mordo from the first ever Doctor Strange set, and the hair comes from Tasu Leech from LEGO Star Wars. Now, the head comes from the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, and I used to use this head for Loki back in 2013, and I remember getting comments on Instagram like, oh man, he looks way too old, you know, whatever, but it's like, man, you know what? I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun, and I just think it looks really good, so that's what I went ahead and used here. I guess I'm realizing that I wasn't posting in 2013, so I would have used this around 2015 now that I say it out loud. Anyways, time keeps on slipping into the future, so speaking of the future, let's move on. Now, I had to laugh because I think that Selvig, the sweater he wears here, looks exactly like this Aunt May sweater from the Spider-Man line of sets. So that's what I used here. And since Stellan Skarsgård already has a LEGO minifigure with Luthen from the Andor series, I went ahead and used Luthen's head and hair for that to tie it together. And finally, I know you guys aren't going to like this one, but to build the collector from the post-credit scene, I used the official San Diego Comic-Con collector minifigure, because I mean, you can't get any more accurate than that. I have built the collector in the past though, so if you'd like to see a tutorial on how to build him, there's plenty of videos on my channel for that. With that being said, let's bring this video to a close and end out this month's Kang Dynasty showcase. Alright guys, well be sure to hit like and subscribe down below if you haven't already to stay up to date with all the latest Kang Dynasty happenings here on the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next video, and until next time, build on. If you liked what you saw and you liked what you heard, feel free to click that subscribe button for more LEGO videos coming in the near future.